Hello YouTube fans, here again. And without ado, why not this one? I remember talking about Dias a lot, one of my favourite soaps. Inspired a lot of other sort of spin-offs, whether it be Not Sanding, whether it be Dynasty, whether it be Fountain Tess, the list goes on. So I'm going now on to the 10th series of Dias. A lot of people, I remember talking about the ninth one, the 8th one, and even the original. Now, at the time, I do not remember this being a tacit episode, being the 9 series. At the time, the 9 series, even though I like it, believe it or not, was not that successful. It was not that successful. What I mean by it was not that successful. No Batsy Duffer, the ratings went down. So they begged and they begged and they begged for Batsy Duffer to come back and prize his role as Bobby Ewing. And money talks, and at the time, Batsy Duffy said, "Yeah, but how are you going to do it? The 8th series, we all remember me dying." So this is when they thought of this amazing idea of resurrecting him by a fucking nightmare. A fucking nightmare. You couldn't make it up if you tried. So in the 9th series, the last of the 9th series, we all know that Pam marries Mark and so on. And you think Sue Ellen got killed in an explosion. Then Pam wakes up. She's expecting to see Mark having a shower after a big wedding day and finds it's Bobby. And it left her with a tipped ending, or tipped anger ending. It's like common in the last episodes of any episode of Dias. It was only in 1986 to 1987 they decided to follow that on with the 10th series, where you will find out that it was all a nightmare. She's been dreaming, she's been in a fucking coma since 1984, going on to 1985 to 1986. Let's say 1985 to 1986, that Pam must have been in a fucking coma. But there you go. So it was all a nightmare. Now, a lot of people said this was a bit thing, and I've got a little bit with this one. I like it, I hate it, I like it. I've got the good things I like and the things I hate, right? The one I hate is they put it in cheap American format. Dias from the beginning, from 78 right through to the early to mid 80s, oh, that beautiful picture quality. It was like a movie quality. The early ones, you look at the very early ones, like I say, early 80s, late 70s, the picture quality is beautiful. When you get to the 10th series, they put it in a cheap American format. Was that common in that era? It was common. You know, you had the new Twilight Zone, American format, Married with Kids, American format. If you know what I mean, you know what I'm on about. Even some of Freddy's Nightmares, American format. You know what I mean? Anything like that is cheaply done. The picture quality and the sound look like shit. And it did. So that's my only downer on that. But I do like the fact that the older things from what you know in the 9 series, to make Tiff to be an asshole with his wife and not his lovely Duffy. They make out that they had a character called Jack, may rest in peace, as the actor sadly no longer with us. In the 9 series, JR was his bosom buddy. In the 10th one, you get the idea JR doesn't like him. And there's little Jarrod in there what was altered. So I do kind of like that. I thought I had a few good touches in the 10th series, and the fact that we all know it was a nightmare. But it's never been done in soap since. I like the fact that they bring back Jock. We all know in the 4th series, sadly to say, the original actor that played Jock sadly passed away. And they had to work around his death. And then when they got to the 5th series, eventually they had no option but to die him off. But they started to follow that on, obviously with another actor. But then you find out as the series goes on, it was somebody pretending to be Jock. Which they sort of did that in the 9th series, but it never followed on because, you know, Batsy Duffy started to bring him back. So I kind of like that little story. Again, there's copy little bits here and there in the 9th one, but make it different. The only bit the older is he had a star on his neck, right? He had a star on his neck. When you get to the 10th one, that sort of gets stacked, but okay. My other one I also like was the mercenary. They had a mercenary, went after JR. it was at the time, it was very predictable. It was all to do with oil. And if you ran that era, oil was very vast to get, and there's terrorism, Iraq, and all this was going on. So the JR sort of double crossed this mercenary. The mercenary lost some of his soldiers fighting the war to get oil, and the mercenary went after JR. And you think he's going to kill JR, he's aiming to kill John Ross, and Bobby and Ray come in to save the day and shoot him. The kind of like the bit with Priscilla Presley, as if I remember her name. Can't think of the character's name now. I know they had fee actresses pay that character. It'll come to me if I say the character's name that Victoria, I meant to say Priscilla Presley played. Gemma, that's it, Gemma Raid. So Gemma ended up going with Ray. I never really bought them to be an idol. I never did, but you know, it kind of falls that more in the 11th series. So I sort of like that little touch. I thought that was a good episode. So I like the Chalk one. I like the idea it was a nightmare, but it's never been done in any soap ever since. I like the art of the characters, but the one I hate, the one I fucking spies is one, they put it in American format. I hated that. I just said that. But the other is, this was the episode where I think Victoria Principal, there was a lot of rumours. A lot of rumours at the time, she didn't want the prize award as Pam. At the time, there was a lot of rumours that Larry Atman was getting more money and she wanted a slice of the cake, meaning she wanted a bit more. Then there was another rumour that she got sick of being typecasted and she wanted to move on in her acting career. So there was two ideas. And for me, Victoria Principal was Pam. I already said this, that it was never the same when she left the show. It's just my opinion. I know there's people that love Dyers who might want to offend that honour, but to me, I just didn't think it was the same without Victoria Principal as Pam. Now, they do bring some actresses in it. They do bring April, who would later become Bobby's new love interest, and I know that I follow on with them getting married in the 13th series. Into the 14 one fucks it up and kills her character off. So I liked April and so on, but the big mistake was the way they got rid of Victoria Principal. Maybe it was her idea, maybe she wanted to go with a bang, I don't know, but the last series of the 10th, you've got Pam driving a car. This is a bit stupid. A fucking cell phone in a car. And she's pregnant, she's happy, she's got these, first get jerks down and winding up in the car. If it's going to have an accident, it doesn't happen. And I do know the dad do that in the 9th series, but she pulls the car in the nick of time. But in the 10th one, she's on the cell phone anyway. And she's talking to Bob there. She's happy, she's now having a kid, happy days. Long parole, some truck comes out in the middle of nowhere, looks like something out of a fucking horror movie. Pam's steaming hysterical. It's the truck, and the car blows up, and it falls out on the 11th series where you get another access. You got the idea it's Pam. She's got all bandages on her. Looks like a fucking mummy, and it just fucking wound me up. It pissed me that this was the last you ever see of Pam. You know what I mean? It's the last. From 1978 to 1987, Victoria Principal as Pam. I was fond of the first series. The very first episode was about Pam. Some of the best stories had Pam. They've ever read Bobby by having Pam having a fucking nightmare just for her to get fucking blown up in a truck. To me, that sucked ass. It sucked assholes. And I didn't like the 11th series where they made out that she's seen herself burn. She looked like the way she looked, so she fucks off. And then they've got to bring her back, right? I think in the 12th, but she didn't want to be typecasted, Victoria Principal. So they had another actress prize to roll, and then they just find out she's dying of cancer. I thought, what a shitty way to get rid of that character. What a shitty way. So it just pissed me off that. So there's only two things what peed me off on the 10th series of Dyers. One, American cheap format. You go to a beautiful movie quality to cheapen it to an American format, was like common in that era. Two, you get rid of the best character. Not that a lot of good characters left in the 10th series. The one that played Ray's wife, Jonna, she left in 1987. I mean, she came into it in 1979, and then she left it in 1987. Then you get rid of Victoria Principal, and then I think when they got to the 12th one, nearly at the end, Priscilla Presley left as Gemma. I mean, all the best characters started to leave it bit by bit, and it fucking pissed me off. It fucking wound me up. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But to me, the 10th one, I like it. Some people say it was a downer. Some episodes I like. The American format, Victoria Principal, the way they've written it out, just pisses me off. But compared to the later ones, I still like it. Unlike the 14 episode, the very, very last episode where Fucky Day sees Satan, I'm not even making that shit up, and it feels like you're watching a fucking comedy show. I could take this one with a pinch of salt, but into them people, be smart, be safe. I'll tell me some more movies, more movie reviews. This was a test for somebody who was into Dyers and people want to know what was I think of the 10th series. It's a classic because it's like I said, no soap has ever done that before. You've had soaps where I think a woman got abducted by aliens. Seriously, I'm not fucking watching too much ET, but we've never ever done that where they've resurrected someone from the dead by a fucking nightmare. Dyers was the first to ever do it, and I don't think it'd ever be done ever again. So it definitely made history. But other than that, people, be smart, be safe. I'll see you later.